Normalizer Shader. Normal is very easy. If you see such a this color code image, these are normals. If you assign these normals to the software, it gives you a fake 3D object on your geometry that you can just see. It's okay. It's a little bit 3D. It's normal. But this part is displacement that I'll explain later. The normal is using for a little bumpy shapes like this. These are real 3D with displacement. But a normal used for a little bit a 3D object on a shader, on a textures. So with this color code and faking the light and the camera on your eye, you can see a little bit 3D on your texture. But it's very useful. For creating that, or for creating a normal texture from color code texture, any image or black and white, you can use this shader. For example, for seeing that, I create a simple plane here that you can see our plane is very loud, dense polygon. For doing that, you don't need to a very dense polygon. And I give a material to that. Before that, for better seeing the normal, I can add some lighting to that. Yeah, I can some lighting to that. You can activate shadow or not if you want. It's not very important, but you can see the normal directly in a scene. You don't need to be rendered, but if you can, if you want. Okay, double click to material editor in a color effects normalizer. You cannot assign a normalizer here because it's the normal, and you have to go to the normal channel. We have again the texture. You have to activate that and give a normalizer shader to create a normal from image there. For normalizer, we have a black scene going to the normalizer, and as you can see, it's created such a that color code for you. But it tells you, okay, from which image, from which color code I create a normal for you. You have to give an image. You can see your own image, or you can see any other effects that you want. In this case, I create a noise. I create a noise that is black and white code to create a normal of that. Black and white code is very important. Black is 0 or -1 at the depths, and then gray is between, and 1 is top. Okay, and it's create a bump shape for you. I decrease the number of the size, or it's better to change the noise type to something that you can better seeing that. I think you can better seeing that. Going to the normalizer, and you can see, if you want, you can render it in rendering. Okay, you can turn off the color if you want. Now you can see. Okay, the normalizer. We have the normalizer. Why you cannot see that? We have two things. First, you have to decrease the number of the strings, and now you can see the normalizer here. In the render, turn off, you can see the normal here. You can just think it's a little bit bumpy of this texture. Yeah, as you can see this, and it's created from black and white, a normal texture for you, just for creating normal. Another important thing for if you render, as you can see, you cannot see that. For a noise, if you use the noise in a space, because it's a 2D, you have to make it in UV 2D. Now you can see in a render. It's very important. In a space, you have to change it to the UV 2D because it's a 2D. Now you can see we have it's not real 3D. You can see it's completely flat, but if you change the angle, you can see this is a little bit 3D. Then you have to assign it a normalize and decrease the number of the normals above any number that you want. If you want more, and it create a normal of this black and white image, or you can load another image or texture. For example, I'll load this simple 2D flower or any other colorized image that you want, and you can see the effects. Okay, you can come back and it's create a normal for you, or you can use uh, gradient black and white. But in this case, the gradient you cannot see it very well. It's better to giving a noise or other texture here. Okay, so first increase number of the strings, go into the noise and make it to the 2D UV to seeing the normals. If you want decrease the number of the scale uh, for better effect of the normal, decrease the number of the delta also to better see the details in this case. If you go to the normalizer, other settings are strings, condensed, Sobel 2x or 4x. It's for more sharpen of your creating normal that I explained in image now. The invert is inverting the black and white code, and the delta, if you see the delta, it's all about the details. You can see details or strengths of your normal. You can doing that. Clamp UV, if you reach to the edges and you see there's some stretched or something bad on a border, you can clamp it UV at the border. And for a filter, look at this image. If we have this black and white image code with this texture in this part, if you have the condensed, we have a smooth normal. You can see here. Sobel 2x, Sobel 4x. If you can see, we have more sharpened edges and more defined normal map. In some cases, it's good. In some cases, you don't want to use that. If you can use this filter type that you want. You can see it's all about more sharpened and nice, defined, and normal. Okay, that's a normalizer shader for creating normal of. For better seeing this, it's better to be render. Okay, can better see that. Okay.